The first time an American, only Midori Ito has completed a triple axel in competition. Oh, how nice, how terrific. Oh, no.
She was a great talent in the world of figure skating. She had tons of potential to be a gigantic star in the sport. But it all came to an abrupt halt, with a rather unusual incident. Let's take a look back at the infamous Tonya Harding scandal and find out what actually happened. At the early age of 3, Tonya was first introduced to ice skating. The sport soon would become a passion for her, and she continued to improve year after year. As a teenager, she was one of the most talented prospects to ever grace the ice. Knowing she had potential as a top professional figure skater, Harding decided to drop out of high school at just 16 years old and dedicate more time to training. She did, however, still make time for her love life, as she began dating a 17-year-old young man, Jeff Stone. It was a story of teenage romance that blossomed very quickly and would soon lead to marriage. The romantic relationship didn't take away from her ice skating goals and aspirations. Jeff would actually provide financial support and help fund Tonya's professional career. As her journey progressed, Harding continued to climb the ladder on the ice skating scene. The future was looking bright for Tonya as she managed to rack up a number of big wins. Harding even developed a couple notable rivalries in the process. Nancy Kerrigan was one of Tonya's most talented peers, and she was carving out a legacy of her own.
Nancy Kerrigan, 22 years old, from Stoneham, Massachusetts.
Doesn't she look elegant?
Oh, she looks like a little angel. Very feminine, very ladylike style, and yet very much the athlete.
The two had faced off multiple times over the years, with Tonya not always coming out on top. Nancy was a fan favorite and was seen as a sweetheart in the eyes of the media. She had the looks, the skills, and also had a down-to-earth personality. In early January of 1994 is when the rivalry went too far. In a pursuit to earn a spot in the 1994 Winter Olympics, 2 days before a qualifying competition took place, an unexpected event would occur. After finishing up a practice run in Detroit's Cobo Arena, last year's winner of the competition, who was Kerrigan, would be attacked backstage by an unknown assailant. The story broke and was all over the news. Many speculated who was behind it. Was it a random fan? Or was another competitor behind the surprise attack?
Right today, there's been a violent attack on an American athlete, Nancy Kerrigan, the American figure skater, who was widely considered a favorite to win a medal at the Winter Olympics, was attacked at a practice session for the U.S. Figure Skating Championships.
She was just leaving the ice. Reporter Dana Scarton was waiting to interview her.
A large man, 6'2", 200 pounds, came running out, just kind of crouched when he got to her. Hit her a couple times with some type of weapon.
Kerrigan was hit several times on the leg, around the knee, by what's being described as a club of some sort. Her assailant fled. She was carried to the locker room, but was later able to walk to the car that took her to the hospital for treatment, and this evening she was released from that hospital.
The attack on Kerrigan left her unable to compete in the qualifying event, leaving a clear-cut lane for Harding to take home a first-place victory.
Last time she won the national championship was in 1991.
Right, when she landed her triple axel.
Yes.
And the marks for composition and style, she is ranked first by all 9 judges. Tonya Harding is the 1994 national champion. We will be back with the final standings. And also the naming of the Olympic team members. Nancy Kerrigan looking on. Will the USFSA give her a spot? Tonya Harding, the 1994 national champion.
Law enforcement soon started their criminal investigation and questioned the potential suspects. The entire Harding team would be interrogated, as well as other participants. Within a few weeks, the FBI who handled the case got their confession from Harding's bodyguard. He expressed his involvement as well as Stone's, and even identified the hired hitman who carried out the attack. Feeling the pressure was on. Weeks later, Stone then confessed and implicated Tonya was also involved. Harding denied the allegation in the media and also when questioned by the police.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan. I am responsible, however, for failing to report things I learned about the assault when I returned home from nationals. I learned that some persons that were close to me may have been involved in the assault. My first reaction was one of disbelief, and the disbelief was followed by shock and fear. I have since reported this information to the authorities.
Regardless of the mounting evidence of her potential involvement in the assault, Tonya would be able to compete in the Olympics as the investigation was still ongoing. As the Olympics approached, Kerrigan was given the opportunity to contend for the gold. The figure skating committee was fully aware of the attempt to sabotage Kerrigan. 7 weeks after the attack, it was time for the showdown at the Winter Olympics in Lillehammer. The two would share the ice, and everyone had to watch. Nancy deliberately decided to wear the very same outfit she was attacked in. You could have cut the tension in the arena with a knife. Kerrigan's performance went off without a hitch, and she won a silver medal. Harding, on the other end, dealt with a major issue during her performance.
And now the public address is announcing Tonya Harding's name, and she's still lacing up her boots.
And this is every skater's recurring nightmare. This is one that you wake up screaming from every morning.
It's not gonna hold me.
Well, she's still obviously worried about the lace. She should be more worried about the performance, but I guess you can't worry about the performance unless your equipment is ready.
Actually be skating.
She looked down at her skate. It looked like she was uncomfortable, and I think she's going to quit. How devastating. It's so difficult to compose yourself when you're late. Your name has been introduced.
Her run landed her in 8th place. Many called it karma as they believed she was involved in the attack along with her team. Shortly after the event, the investigation wrapped for the Nancy Kerrigan attack. Law enforcement had a solid case against Tonya. Along with the testimonies of her team, her inconsistencies in interviews, and finding a note of Kerrigan's training schedule in Harding's handwriting. She officially pleaded guilty to the charge of conspiracy to hinder prosecution. She received 3 years probation and was slapped with a $160,000 fine. A few months later, her 1994 National Championships title was revoked, and she was permanently banned from the U.S. Figure Skating Association. With the exception of Harding, everyone else involved in the attack on Kerrigan served jail time. Tonya unable to compete in figure skating anymore. Her career went spiraling down in the aftermath. She used her notoriety to explore other avenues in order to make a living. She took on a few small acting roles and even tried boxing.
How did you prepare for the fight?
I trained really hard. I ate a lot of chickens. I fought some Mexican girls in a parking lot. And I threw a keg through my boyfriend's window. Woo!
All the pundits and all the smart folks, they were saying, okay, his only chance now, he's got to kneecap her. He's got to do a Tonya Harding on the front runner.
What do you think about this story? Was a lifetime ban from the sport she loved justified? Do you think she was the mastermind behind it all? Leave a comment below and let me know.